Okay, so we're going to be going through the process of creating a UV map using unwrap UVs. So here we have a head model. It's quite a high density mesh, but it's a good kind of object to practice on because heads are notoriously difficult to create UV maps for. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus just on the face because I don't want this video to be too long. So the first thing to do is to actually add a material to the face so that we can see what it looks like. So I'm going to press M to bring up the material editor, and I'm going to double click on physical material and double click on the heading again to bring up the settings here, and then under base color I'm going to click on the map box and I'm going to go to let's close that up. I'm going to go to bitmap, double click, and you can download all of this stuff from the link in the video, so the head object and also this UV map test pattern PNG. Now it's very typical to use this kind of test map to see how clean your UVs are. So I'm going to apply it to the head object, and I'm also just going to just bring reflections down. Let's just zero that out just so it's not too shiny. And okay, so that's the material, just so that we can see. So you see the test pattern allows us to see just exactly what our UVs look like. So what you really want for UVs is you want this kind of effect here. So on the shoulder you can see that you've got mostly squares, but on the rest of the face it's a big mess, so we need to fix that. So what we're going to do is select the object, go to our modify tab, and we're going to add an unwrap UVW modifier, and then we're going to go into the sub objects for the modifier to polygon. Actually no, we're going to go to edge, and what I want to do is I want to select the edges just around the face. So if you imagine that this was made out of material and you wanted to flatten it out, where would the seams be? So your seams generally with UV maps are places that maybe aren't going to be too noticeable, so like the back of the head, behind the ears, under the chin, that sort of thing. In this case we're just going to create a seam around the whole face so that we can unwrap it. So I'm just going to go down to here where it's got seams, and I'm going to choose this one, which is point-to-point seams. And then I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to start over here. Let's start there, and I'm just going to move around so you can see that if I skip a few edges and then click, it's going to find the shortest path to where I clicked, and it's going to select those seams. So I'm just going to keep on going around, selecting. Just do it carefully so that you don't accidentally select the wrong edge. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up, and we'll carry on once I've got all those edges selected. Okay, so I've gone all the way around the face, and there may be some places where you've accidentally selected an edge. So for example, here is an edge that's been selected. So if I just take this edit seams and I just alt click on that edge to remove it. I think that's the only one that I accidentally selected. Okay, so now I've got all of my edges selected. I'm going to choose this option, which is, I need to now select the polygons in this area where I've got a seam. So I'm going to choose polygon, click any polygon in the face area, and then click on this object which says expand polygon selection to seams. Okay, so it expands it to that seam that I created. And then I'm going to click on this quick peel. Okay, and what it's done is it's peeled the face open like that. So if I have a look at my test pattern now, you can see it's looking a lot better. It's looking, the squares are there, but this kind of the angle is not going to suit me. So what I'm going to do in my little UV edit app here is I'm going to just rotate it and move it around. So I'm going to take the move tool and I'll just move it over here. I'm going to also select all of these and just move them out because I don't care about those at the moment. I'm really mainly focused on the face. I'll move that in here and then I'll take the rotate and I'll just rotate that round so that it's straight. I'm also going to scale it up because the more space we've got to paint a texture, the better quality texture we can get. Okay, and then I'll put that in there. Okay, so now I've got a really nice clean UV texture, or at least UV map for the face. Let's do the eyes. So I'll take this, just one polygon, and then I'm just going to click on this, expand polygon to seams, and then I'm going to unpeel that. Oh, that didn't work so well. Let's just undo that. Let's rather use this projection, and we'll try, that's a planar projection, and we'll try it on the y-axis. That's what I want. Okay, and then move tool. Sometimes this edit UVWs gets stuck and you've just got to change from like polygon to edge and back to polygon, then it unsticks and you can move stuff. Okay, so that's the one eyeball. Now the two eyeballs are going to be identical, so we can put them on top of each other. So I'll select the other eyeball, expand, planar, y-axis, and then let's move that on top. So we can texture at one time for both. Select both of those. I don't need them to be this big, so I'm just going to make those smaller, and I'll put those over there. Okay, so these are the two areas I'm focusing on, the eyeballs and the face. The rest of it would be the same process of creating seams and then packing them into this UV map area, but we're just going to focus on the face and the eyeballs. So to get out our UV map now, we're going to go to Tools, Render UVW Template. Now the width and height depend on how close you're going to get to the object. If you're going to do a really high quality render close up, you probably want a bigger image than 1024 by 1024. But just for convenience here and speed because of the video, I'm going to leave it at 1024 by 1024, say render UV template, and then I'm going to save that out. So save image, and I'll just put that on my desktop and I'll call it head UV map, and I'll choose JPG and save. Always best quality. Alright, and now you can save this object. So I'm just going to save this also to my desktop, and then you're going to switch to Photoshop and open up that head UV map that you created, the JPG. So I'm going to switch to that now. Okay, so I'm in Photoshop and I've got my UV map open. Now you don't have to use Photoshop. You could use you could even use Procreate on your iPad if you want to. And I'm just going to do a very simple texture just to show you how this works. So I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to unlock the background layer, put it at the top, change the blending mode to screen so that I can see what I'm doing underneath. screen means only the white will show. So I'm going to fill it with skin color. So let's fill, and let's choose color, and let's choose okay. And then you can basically start painting. So if I wanted, for example, to put I'm not even going to attempt to put makeup on the character, so I'm going to, let's just say that this guy or girl has got a tattoo on their cheek. So let's find something that I can put there. Let's see what we've got. Flowers. Let's try this one. Okay, so let's do something like that. Okay. And let's just say, like, let's just put a bit of eyeliner on so that we can see how that translates. So I'm just going to take the brush tool B, and I'll be on a new layer and bring the brush size down. Obviously you need to take more time with this, but I'm just doing this to show you. Oh, do that again. Okay, let's see. Okay, and then I'm just going to switch to my browser, and I'm just going to look for let's say a image of Scar, and let's take that. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that and paste that into here. If you hear a funny noise, that's my cat crying at the door, and I'm not going to let him in until I've finished this. Okay, and then let's just put that there, and I'm just going to erase with a soft brush and just erase around here. And once I've done that, I'm going to position it. Okay. Whoops. There, and I'm going to change the blending mode to multiply. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we'll see. What else? I need an eye, so let's do a search for eyeball front, and let's take that's quite a nice one. Oh no, let's see, maybe this one. Okay, I'm just copying it, and let's go down here and put it over the eyeball. Okay, that should work, and I just need to erase some stuff here, so I don't want that to interfere with my other UV map. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just keeping it simple. I'm going to hide the original UV map, and I'm just going to save this out. So file, save a copy, and I'm just going to call this head UV map color, and save it. Switch back to max, and then we need to bring up our material editor again, and we're going to change that test pattern map. So click on it and then click on bitmap, and let's go and choose our color map, and then let's have a look at what that looks like. Okay, so it's just a beginning. We've got the tattoo, we've got the scar, and we've got the eyeballs, and if I press F4 you can see what we've got there. Now you can create maps for bump, so if you want things to have more relief, so in your material editor you can use the same UV map to create a bump map down here. Bump, you can have specular maps, all different types of maps, but this is just the beginning process of creating your UV map, texturing it, and applying it to your object. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you next time.